Hello YouTube and fellow DC Comic fans, I'm Keith One Shot, and this is my Comic Complete Dramatic Reading Series, and today we will be covering a crossover between Batman and the Shadow, Part 4, all art, text, characters, and storylines belong to DC Comics and Dynamite, not me. If you enjoyed the story, feel free to go out and support DC Comics and your local comic book shop. We start the story off in Gotham's tomb, far beneath Gotham City, where we see Batman all tied up, as we hear the Joker say, "Me? I never liked history. I say live in the moment. Act! But my clairvoyant friend is a big fan. He's a regular historian of the brutal arts, old folk stuff. He found this place. Know what it is? Back before this place was a place, a warlock interned right here. The city grew up around this tomb, juiced up on its suffering. This is the brutal site of Dr. Gotham. This is where evil started in this town, and where it finally catches up with you, Batman." We then see Batman surrounded by a dozen of his villains. Then Batman screams, "This isn't you, Joker!" Then Joker replies by saying, "And you're the expert?" Then Batman says, "You don't work well with others." Then Joker tells Batman, "Stag and I are peak predators, prime examples of evolution. We're practically family." Then Batman tells Joker, "The Stag doesn't have family." Joker then replies to Batman by saying, "Blood brothers then, but the blood is all yours. We carve at your heart, then the crowd goes wild, and we shovel for Shambhala." Then Batman shouts at Joker, "Good luck! People say I don't have one." Then Joker replies, "Ha ha ha! You don't!" Then the rest of the villains start laughing with him for a while. Then, as their laughter stops, we hear someone else laughing at them. Ha 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 ha! Then Joker says, "Oh, that's not me." Then, suddenly out of nowhere, we hear a crash! Then we see the Shadow appear beneath Batman, knocking down Batman's villains. As the Shadow says, "I know!" The Shadow then fires several rounds of his bullets from his guns. Batman, now no longer tied up, shouts, "Shadow, you're here! I need to talk to Alfred about his knots." Then Shadow says, "Stay behind me, fool! It's your heart the Stag wants." Batman replies, "I don't hide behind killers." Then the Shadow says, "The weed of crime must be plucked, Batman. Your garden grows wild. I would have these creatures dead. We'd be facing 2 instead of 20, if not for your childish rules." Batman then jokes, "What? You're not up for a challenge?" Batman then informs the Shadow, "They all go down, Shadow, but they all get back up. You hear me?" Then the Shadow says, "There's a world of punishment between life and death." Batman then jokes to the Shadow as he's ready to fight his foes. "You sound excited about it." Then we see Batman and the Shadow back to back, as Shadow says, "A secluded tomb, full of a generation's worst. And you say I wasn't your teacher, Batman, yet you bring me such gifts." We then see Batman and the Shadow both attack the rogues gallery of villains that surround them. Then we jump over to the sounds of sirens in the streets of Gotham, as we see several Gotham City police cars driving through the rain in a hurry. We then hear an officer say, "Shifts over, Montoya! What is this?" Officer Montoya then replies, "Anonymous tip, Chris. The commissioner called in overtime for everyone." Chris then replies by saying, "I should be cooking breakfast right now. Dora hates that man. I know it." We then see in another car, Harvey Bulk and Jim Gordon. Harvey then says to Jim, "Not used to riding shotgun, commish, but you don't look like you're up for arguing. What are we getting into here?" Jim Gordon then tells Harvey, "There's a number on my phone, Harvey. I don't know how it got there, and I can't call out to it. The last time it rang, we were too late. A madman broke Batman's back. 10 minutes ago, it rang for the second time in history. And trust me, I don't plan on being late again." We then return to the Tomb of Gotham, where Batman and the Shadow are still fighting all the villains. Batman punches Scarface, then elbows a woman in the face as the Shadow fires his guns. Batman then says, "This is a distraction, Shadow. Don't lose Joker and the Stag." The Shadow then confronts one of his villains by saying, "Kai, the Almost Master's disgraced student, you possess to be a true hound of hell. Tonight, I send you there." Kai then tells Shadow, "That's so. You talk about the Almost Master like you knew him, but you forget one of its key principles, misdirection. You said it. See you in hell." Then suddenly, 2 hellhounds attack the Shadow, but instead, the Shadow says, "No!" Then he shoots Kai. As Kai falls to the ground from being shot, he says to Shadow, "What? I trained them their whole lives. There's no way you could." Then Shadow shoots Kai again, as Batman is surrounded by Penguin and the Joker and a woman with a knife. He tells Shadow, "This is taking too long." We then see Harvey Bulk and Jim Gordon pull up to the Gotham Tobacco's Club. As the two get out of their car, Harvey says to Jim, "Tell you what, commish, if we're here to bust a couple of cases of Cordo Rio, I'll lead the raid myself." Then Jim says, "That number doesn't ring for cigars, Harv. Keep tight and form up. Something's going on here." We then see inside the Gotham Tobacco's Club, Man-Bat breaks through a wall as he screeches and knocks down a few of the club members. One of the club members then says, "Mother of, run! Get Thorn out of here!" Below the club in the Gotham Tombs, we see Batman being outnumbered by his villains as he says, "Shadow, we need to." Then suddenly Joker sneaks up from behind and says, "Not forget about your favorites, that's what." Then we see Joker choke Batman from behind as he says, "Gotta say, Bats, always liked your heart beating. No need to end the fun. But if that's where the squinchy key to Shambhala is, well, time to go digging." Batman then struggles to tell Joker, "You really think Stag will take you to?" Then Joker says, "There's a delicate relationship between killers. You wouldn't understand." Then we see the Shadow point his gun at Joker as he says, "No, but I do." Batman then shouts, "Wait!" But it's too late, as the Shadow fires his gun at Joker. As Batman tries jumping in front of the bullet, he shouts, "No!" But the bullet hits Joker, sending him to the ground. Batman checks on the Joker, and then one villain says, "Holy, he's shot!" he shot the Joker, and Batman saved him. That's it, I'm out of here. Then Batman screams, Shadow! Then the Joker says while coughing up blood, ha ha, you do care. Then Batman says, shut up. Then the Joker says, not my plan, but at least the world will lose both of us. Then Batman says, what? Then we see the Stag run up from behind Batman and stab Batman in the chest. As the Stag says, I am an honest signal. Batman has blood coming out of his mouth as he says to the Stag, You're nothing, Stag! Your whole life built up to killing Batman! But this doesn't end with me! Batman falls to the ground. The Shadow opens fire on the Stag and Joker and shouts, get away from him! The Joker then runs and tells Stag, time to go! I hate leaving before the end, but a man with weeping soft tissue in no place to argue. Your dagger's moist with a final kill. 5,040 murders. You've got what you've wanted. Here's where you make good. I gave you Batman's heart, so it's Shambhala, here we come. The Joker and the Stag open the door to leave. They are greeted by Jim Gordon and Harvey Bullock, and several of Gotham PD's finest officers. Jim Gordon then says, Joker, this is Commissioner Gordon. You and your accomplice are surrounded. I will not hesitate to fire. Put your hands on your head and kiss the ground. Any other movement, and we will be forced to... Then, the Joker moves, and GCPD open fire on the Stag. Then we go back down to the tombs, with Batman and the Shadow. As Batman is bleeding out, Shadow says to him, to think, that madman's life is possibly worth yours. You're so stupid, Bruce. It's given the Stag a working key to Shambhala. Batman then tells the Shadow, quiet, Cranston. I need you to save my life. Cauterize this wound. Shadow replies, it will hurt. Then Batman says in pain, if you did train me, then you know that's never mattered. Do it. Then Shadow places a hot coal on Batman's wound, as Batman screams out in pain, ah! Batman then says to the Shadow, you want to know why I saved the Joker's life? I told you, Cranston. You think our lives are more important than theirs. That's how I know I was right. I know I didn't learn from you. Because they all are. Then Batman passes out, and Shadow says, no, Bruce! Then go to Gotham General Hospital, where we see bodies dead and covered in blood on the ground. Cops and doctors murdered all around. Then we hear the Joker say to the Stag, look at you, back from the dead, and free of penetrating wounds. So that's how you did it. You think I wouldn't notice. Just one suggestion. This is why you brought me on after all. We made it. But have you really hurt the Shadow as much as you want? Are you satisfied? If it were just me and Batman, I couldn't just relax. Not while his whole family was still breathing. So we've got one last stop to make. Then, the Joker points at a picture of the Shadow strand in the newspaper, as she seems to be the next target. And that ends today's story. Comic published by DC Comics and Dynamite. All art, story, text, and characters belong to DC Comics, Dynamite, and their respective owners. Not me. This has been Batman the Shadow, Part 4, and I'm your host, Keith One Shot. If you like this video, make sure to check out the rest of my Comic Complete dramatic reading series, and support DC Comics by picking up a copy of the trades and single issue comics. Support your local comic book shop, take care, and have a great day. Goodbye!